everybody, I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Homemaker and welcome back. So we're still working through the biblically based and minimalist minded approach to the FlyLady system, taking the system, which is fantastic. I love the FlyLady system, but I need to simplify. I need a minimal approach to this topic. I need something that is simple, that is minimal, and above all is focused on the ways of the Lord, because we can do all of the things, have the perfect house, the perfect life, everything completely under control. If our hearts and our lives are not right with the Lord, it doesn't matter, because we're not promised tomorrow. Heck, we're not promised later today. So we need to make sure that we are living in a way that is truly eternally minded, because that is of our utmost importance. So I asked you guys yesterday, so every week here this month, I'm putting out 3 videos a week. So last month we went through 3 weeks of a video every single day to help us get into this FlyLady system, put together our control journal, and make sure that we have our priorities right. We're spending time with the Lord. We're spending time in our Word. We're doing the little intentional things to help keep our homes and our lives in order. So we started doing that. And then this month I've been doing 3 videos a week to give you some things to work through with your kiddos and start pulling them into the system as well, teaching them these great little intentional steps to clean up, get their time management and their routines and rhythms and things like that in order. So it's been a big blessing for my family. I pray it has been for yours as well. Of course, all of these are on a playlist, so if you need to go back and watch from the beginning, you can do that as well. If at any point you need to stop and restart, you can do that as well too. So anything that you need to do, feel free to do so. Let me fix my hammock chair here. So yesterday I asked you guys, before we dive into this, so that's why I released these videos the next day, I really wanted you guys to spend the past day really looking at your children's time in their Bible study and their focus, their understanding, their priority of being in God's Word every day, and you're leading them through that, and also looking at the things that are influencing your kids. What are they watching? What are they listening to? Where is that coming in? Especially if you are having any attitude issues, behavioral issues, fighting, bickering, disrespect, whatever it may be, there's heart issues there, and you've got to deal with the heart issues before anything's going to get better. So I really wanted you guys to look at that. Share your responses on yesterday's video. Of course, if there's anything we can do to help, to lift you up in prayer, whatever the case may be, please share so that we can do that. All right. So yesterday's was very, very important, making sure that we are dealing with those things first and foremost. So now that we've gotten those done, and we're going to continue, of course, every day is a little step that we are building upon. So we always want to be doing those things that we started at the beginning. But today I want to dig into talking more about the zones. So I'm going to do this video, and then there will be one other as well. But we want to look at the zones. I had you guys last month when we were doing this all together for us. I had you guys go through these various different zones, the different rooms of your house, and write down, ideally in every single space of your home, what would you do? If you were like spring cleaning that space from top to bottom, what would you do? So like for us, entrance, patio, detailed cleaning list, our dining room detailed cleaning list, kitchen detailed cleaning list, kids' bedroom detailed cleaning list, laundry room, master bedroom, master bathroom, living room, right? All of the spaces. What would you do if you were going to deep clean that space? So we wrote down, I shared all of mine here. So we wrote down all of these and put them in these sheet protectors in our control journal. So that way, when we get to these different zones, as we go through in our cleaning, we can check all the stuff off and then reuse the pages. So we have not started officially doing that yet, and we're going to start doing it. You can either start it this week, or if you still need to put yours together, you can start it next week. It doesn't matter. Jump in where you're at and get started. Anything, be it 15 minutes to an hour, right? Anything that you're going to do, whatever the amount of time is going to be a blessing and is better than nothing. So done, not perfect, is what we're going for here. But today I want to talk a little bit about, we are going to start diving into these zones, right? Because so far you've just been doing 15 minutes of decluttering each afternoon. But if you're going to start doing these, we want to start bringing the kids in on this as well. So couple options here for the kiddos. Let me tell you about them as soon as I help my toddler get through the door. I have my handy dandy helper back, so we'll see how far we can get through this. So here's a couple different options. I asked you guys to go through all of these different zones and write out everything that you would do to clean these spaces. you can put together zone lists for your kids, right? Where you take the different zones for each week and come up with their own activities. Maybe you live in a really huge house, or you have extra spaces you didn't get to in this one. I don't know. Maybe you want to have a separate zone list for your kiddos. If that would work best for you and your family, then do that, of course. What I did is when I put together my zone list, because ultimately the job of taking care of the home is mine. That is my responsibility, right? But I want to bring my children in, and I want to train them up. I want to teach them how to do these things, so that way when they one day have their own home, they know how to do these things. So I would much rather have my children work alongside of me, of course, knowing that it is ultimately my job and my responsibility to get all of these things done. So what I opted to do is, out of all of the zone sheets here, is each week with the different zone that we are going to have for that week, which FlyLady has a system for which zone to do each week. So every month we will hit all of these different zones, okay? So every week we get a different zone, therefore every month we are hitting on these different topics and tackling all of these things. But again, a nice little bite-sized chunks to get it all done. So for these different zones, I choose to just have my kids work alongside of me. So let's say we are in zone 1. It's the entrance patio and then the dining room. This is our zone 1. So when I'm looking at this, I'm going, okay, power wash the bricks and cement. Okay, our teenager, he likes to do that. He can do that this week. Weed and trim plants is needed. Okay, well, my youngest, she likes to help me with that. She can work alongside of me, and I can teach her how to properly weed and trim the plants. Our 9-year-old, pick up and bag up trash and debris. She's good at that. She can come out and work and help collect the stuff that just doesn't need to be here and get rid of it. Clear any random junk? Well, that's mom. I'm going to go through and I'm going to say, okay, what doesn't need to be here that we need to get back, because there's always something that doesn't need to be there. And then I can work and put all of that stuff together. So this just went from me having to do every single one of these jobs to the kids working alongside of me and helping out. I also like this because it means it's flexible. That means next month when we go to do this, maybe we switch the jobs up. So that way every kid is getting to work in the different jobs. Instead of having to do the same thing over and over again, they're getting to learn all of the different aspects. Same thing when we get to the dining room, like wash windows and front door. Okay, the little ones can do that, right? They can work on that. Wash the curtains. Well, our older son, he can reach them better than I can. He can pull them down and throw them into the wash for me. Wipe down the baseboards. Heck, my 2-year-old can work on wiping down the baseboards, right? And then we can go through and switch up who is doing this. So that just makes my week even easier. So if we're planning to work on some zone work for 15 minutes every afternoon, every one of us grabs one of these jobs, gets it done. We have it done in no time. And we can do that throughout all of the different zones as well. So for me, I do not give my kids additional zone work. You could if you want to. If you want them, you got a boo-boo? Are you okay? Yeah. Oh, that's an old boo-boo. You're okay. You just found it. If you want them to deep clean their room every week, if you have spaces that are additional to what you've put together for you that you want the kids to get into and work on each day, you absolutely could do that, or just bring them into the zone work that you've already put together. I went through every single room of our home. Hold on, let me put this up. With a detailed cleaning list. So if these get done, this means literally everything in our home. Hold on. Let me put this up. If we go through these sheets here that I put together, it means that every single area of our home has been deep cleaned. So if the kiddos just want to hop on and help me with that, that means we are getting everything. Oh, thank you. Oh, you are a ham. It means we're getting everything done and thoroughly taken care of. So I just opted to bring the kiddos into the existing zones that I already have. And every week I can just assign them, or they can pick one of the jobs, a couple of the jobs, whatever we have that are on the list. Okay, I don't know what you're saying. Okay. So today, that is your homework today. So if you have not already put together your zones, you need to do that. Go back and watch the video where we discuss the zones. I will link it down at the bottom. She cut my hair all everywhere. So put together your zones if you have not already, and then look at them and discuss. Do you want to have a separate... Hey, look at, there's Rita the chicken. Hey, Rita. Do you want your children to have separate zones and zone lists? If so, you need to put those together today. So if you want them to have ones that are completely separate from your own, you need to go ahead and write those out. Even if you just write it on a piece of lined paper, put it in their control journal with 4 different zones and the things you want them to do in those spaces. And if not, and you're just going to bring them into yours, you can either look through that and have, put a Post-it note on your zone list of, hey, numbers 1, 3, and 4 are this child. Number 2 is this child, or whatever the case may be. Or you can always just choose them at random as you go through and switch it up depending on what works best for your kiddos based off of the options of tasks that you have there. So whatever works best for you, I want us to put those, put some thought into these things today. And then our next video here will talk a little bit more in depth about the zones and how they are going to work. So that way we can start implementing them. We can start it this week, even though it might only be a partial week by the time you see this. And then next week we'll have a full week. And then every week this will be something that we have added in and we are working on, just like we've done with all of the baby steps as far as our Bible reading and our prayer time and getting dressed to shoes and making our bed and all of those things like that, our hot spots and things like that. So hopefully this helps you guys. Go and work on your zones. My daughter cannot get the door open, so I need to go save her life, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.